Mr. Henry Kwek.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, loneliness can wither away even the bravest soul. As spouses pass on, siblings disappear, children distancing themselves. This can be devastating to our seniors. Some never even had close family members or friends to begin with. For them, the final years can be harsh. Many of them decide that in the absence of love, health is meaningless. They decide to fade away. Yes, loneliness can kill, sometimes in the most undignified way. But I've seen it with my own eyes that it need not be so. It need not be so. A few years ago, Dementia Singapore and my volunteers set up a self-funded elder care center from scratch within Block 115 of Ang Mo Kio. The center combines health and social care for the most vulnerable seniors living in the block of rental flats. Most of them were frail and without familiar support. We took over 4 units of HDB studio apartments and we did up the void deck. We got doctors and nurses from TTHS to review the health status of every senior under our care to come up with a personal health plan. By health plan, it means more than just monitoring their vitals or ensuring medical compliance. It also includes social prescription, getting them to join in regular exercises and activities, getting them to eat healthy meals together, and getting them to join in the kampong downstairs. These social prescriptions were delivered by a few staff, and seniors were given microjobs. And we also had the assistance of community partners and volunteers from all walks of life. The results were dramatic. Let me just talk about 2 seniors, though we have seen impact in almost all the seniors under our care. Both has consented to me to share their stories, but I'll still mention them using synonyms. 1, Uncle Paul, who is in his 80s. He has a heart that's functioning less than a quarter of what it needs to be. He was frequently admitted to the hospital. Taking medicine was a chore because he felt hopeless about life. But when he felt the love and support of our volunteers, he decided to fight on. With proper medication and regular reviews, his health has improved. Today, even though he continues to be frail, he is energetic and cheerful. 2, Uncle Ong. Uncle Ong is a single retired construction worker in his late 70s. He has always been independent, never troubling others for help, and he never joined our activities. He developed chronic conditions that did not take medicine regularly. He relied extensively on alternative medicine. One day, Uncle Ong injured his toes, and it turned gangrene soon after. The gangrene spread upwards towards his shank, and he had an amputation just below his knees. He was depressed and in great pain. Our volunteers prepared special meals for him, which we brought to him daily. Initially, Uncle Ong was uncomfortable to be served and cared for by several volunteers, but over time, he accepted the services supported. And now he complies with his medication and goes for reviews. He has learned to come in terms with his disability. He even participates at social events now. His chronic conditions are also under control. Now, given what we have seen, my volunteers and I are of course thrilled when we heard that under Healthy SG, MOH will set up many more elder care centers to integrate community programs with health. There are many more such seniors beyond our rented blocks, in our HDB estates, in our private estates. And more importantly, I've seen firsthand how the various aspects of Healthier SG can come together. Personal healthcare plans, social prescription, healthcare workers working hand in glove with our community partners and local volunteers. I've also seen our frail seniors, having received support and concern, take personal responsibilities for their health. Healthier SG is indeed the shift, the decisive shift that our healthcare system needs. But preventive health is better than curative health or rehabilitation. I believe the future of preventive health can be found in the science of longevity medicine, which Minister Ong mentioned at the end of his opening speech. Over the last few decades, researchers have made tremendous progress in understanding the science of aging. There is now ample evidence on how affordable preventive interventions can slow down aging and increase our health span, which is the proportion of our lives that we spend in good health. It is now clear that a person can be much healthier than what his age suggests, with the right lifestyle and clinical intervention. Now, lifestyle intervention can include things we already know very well, such as intermittent fasting or exercises. But what is more interesting are clinical interventions, potential new supplements, existing drugs repositioned for healthy longevity, and new drugs over time. And it is more and more possible to measure one's biological age through a series of biomarkers tests, so that we can see the progress or the regression of our health span more clearly, so that we can take better responsibility for our own health. Last month, I was delighted to attend and join in a panel at Singapore's first longevity research conference, where DPM Heng launched NUH's Center for Healthy Longevity. Yes, I understand the science is still developing, but it'd be wonderful if MOH can sketch out what our emerging plan is, because healthy longevity can have a profound impact, because Singapore can be the first country to systematically translate longevity research into practical intervention for all. Brilliant plans, bold plans require brilliant execution. I'll now like to make a few brief points about the implementation of Healthier SG. Firstly, MOH must decisively break down the silos of information that exist today. I also concur with member Dr. Tan Wu Ming that we must build a world-class healthcare IT system. Our family doctors must have access to quality medical history pulled from all different healthcare institutes. They need prompt and relevant information to create meaningful health plans that Singaporeans trust. Secondly, our government needs to do more to encourage all Singaporeans to exercise more and eat less sugar and salt. While we have done much, much more can be done. It will be helpful to hear concrete plans from MOH. Thirdly, I hope that our healthcare leaders boldly invest resources and imagination in healthcare, preventive health, even though our natural instincts are to spend the most to care for the sick. I certainly hope it's true for the National Healthcare Group, which serves Kebun Baru. NHG has many seniors, perhaps even more than other regions. Now, however, I can understand why MOH wants to use population size as a basis to fund healthcare cluster. The more time we spend debating on what is the precise level of funding, the more time we lose in pivoting towards preventive care. Because being roughly correct today is better than being precisely correct after the ship has sailed. But I do hope that MOH can keep close tabs to ensure that all regional healthcare systems spend enough on preventive care, and over time, MOH can refine the funding model to factor in differing age distribution, socioeconomic status across different healthcare clusters, and that MOH can also help clusters scale up particularly innovative efforts. Mr. Deputy Speaker, to conclude, as a member of PAP's senior wing, I believe that Healthier SG is a necessary reform, a bold reform of our healthcare system. It deserves our full support, even as though there are many challenges ahead, even though it will take a decade for us to see real dividends. My volunteers and I are deeply committed to making Healthier SG work for Kebun Baru. We feel this way because we understand the possibilities. In fact, we have started creating our own Kebun Baru local action plan for healthy longevity that we hope to partner with NHG. We will grow as many exercise groups and wellness groups as we can and build bridges between them and NHG. We'll create a single service directory on how to care for our seniors, and we'll share it with all our local partners, including family doctors. We will join Ang Mo Kio GRC's effort to set up a dedicated helpline to serve our seniors. We will improve our existing local effort on dementia, palliative care, and assisted living, and we will build up support groups for stroke and cancer. We will reach out to the Center for Healthy Longevity so that our residents can benefit from longevity intervention as soon as possible. And lastly, we will power some of these local efforts with microjobs for our healthy seniors. With that, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I stand in full support of the White Paper. Thank you.